A giant explosion destroys 70% of the moon. On Earth, the Japanese military attempts to launch an attack against a mysterious creature, but unfortunately, all the soldiers are wiped out by an octopus-like monster. The monster is suspected of being the culprit behind the destruction of the moon and plans to destroy the Earth as well. At Kunugigaoka Junior High School, one of Tokyo's prestigious private schools, students, particularly those who are in their junior year, are required to excel in all fields or they will be transferred to a remedial class called Class 3E. Students in Class 3E will study in a separate building, which is about a kilometer away from the main school building. Surprisingly, the same monster with a rounded yellow face that is responsible for the destruction of the moon and plans to do the same to the Earth by March next year will be the teacher for the Class 3E students. Karasuma, a representative of the Ministry of Defense, explains that the monster's speed is unparalleled and urges the students in the class to kill the strange creature before next year. The creature also adds that it has made a deal with the government to teach Class 3E in order to delay its plan to destroy the Earth. To kill it, students can use bullets and weapons specially made by the Ministry of Defense that are harmless to humans but deadly to the yellow creature. Karasuma mentions that the reward for those who kill the creature will be 10 billion yen, encouraging all students. In order to help the students, Irina, a highly skilled assassin, and she are hired to kill the creature, but fail. From then on, Irina becomes their English teacher. The class is officially named Assassination Classroom. Nagisa tends to pay close attention to her new teacher trying to understand the creature's motives, and he takes notes. The first killing attempt occurs when the yellow creature is teaching the class. With knife and bombs installed on Nagisa's body, he approaches his teacher to present his assignment and suddenly his friend detonates the bombs, almost killing Nagisa himself. But unfortunately the plan fails as the teacher manages to dodge the explosion. The failed attempt angers the teacher and he almost kills one of his students. He threatens to kill all the students' relatives if they do such foolish things again. Since the creature seems to be indestructible and is also a teacher, the class decides to call him Kora-sensei. Despite being fully aware that he is the main target of the assassination, Kora-sensei manages to bond with the class, which in turn considers him their teacher. Throughout the school term, Kuruma, who was previously a student in the class, and has returned from his suspension for protecting the former Class 3E student from being bullied, so he joins the class. He is a very intelligent student in that he is able to tease Kora-sensei when he first meets him. Despite his academic excellence, Kuruma seems to be arrogant and overconfident. Kora-sensei then tries to correct his bad attitude in several ways. After school, Kuruma asks if the teacher would risk his life to protect one of his students and challenges him to do so. But in fact his plan is to find his weakness and then try to kill him. Kuruma suddenly jumps down the hill while pointing his gun at the teacher, but somehow, Kora-sensei manages to save his student, thanks to his highly elastic tentacles. Kuruma does not give up and tells the creature that one day it will kill him. Since Karasuma's strategy shows no progress, his supervisor decides to transfer a student to Class 3E to kill the creature. It is an artificial intelligence installed in a box, called Ritsu. Ritsu has been programmed to target only Kora-sensei and she is equipped with many advanced military weapons, but the teacher manages to dodge all bullets. Ritsu's arrival makes the students uncomfortable as she keeps shooting during class, and the students even have to pick up the bullets later. For this reason, the students decide to block her with duct tape and chains. One day, Kora-sensei approaches Ritsu and gives her some advice, namely, to cooperate with other students. Kora-sensei then gives Ritsu some data to the intelligence to learn. The next day, Ritsu can now express some expressions. She also creates a phone application to deepen her friendship with students. When class is about to begin, out of nowhere a strange child named Itona bursts into the classroom. He claims to be stronger than Kora-sensei and challenges him to duel after class. It turns out that Itona has tentacles for weapons. Seeing the tentacles, Kora-sensei gets very angry and asks Itona where the tentacles came from. He almost kills Kora-sensei, but Kora-sensei manages to beat the child with the same weapon used by the students and they throw him out of the classroom after losing. After school, Kora-sensei is questioned by his students about his real intention to teach the class. He answers that he is doing it to fulfill a promise he made to someone. To get closer to his students, Koro-sensei improvises a remedial class where he uses his speed to teach each student about their worst subjects. One night, Koro-sensei sneaks into the girls' room and is forced by the students to share his love life stories, but then avoids the question and runs away. Karasuma's role is replaced by Takaoka, a physical education expert, because he is not making any progress at all in the assassination mission. Takaoka seems to be very cheerful and he places a lot of attention toward his students, but Irina is able to delve into Takaoka's background and she realizes that he is a very violent person. The real Takaoka emerges when he beats up a girl. Karasuma manages to stop him from doing something worse, but Takaoka challenges one of the students to a duel. Karasuma notices Nagisa's assassination talent and asks him to fight the instructor. Calmly and with an unpredictable move, he manages to bring Takaoka down. Since Nagisa wins, and the instructor leaves the school. The next day, Okuda gives Koro-sensei poison, which is later revealed to be sodium hydroxide, and asks him to drink it. The poison only increases Koro-sensei's power because it stimulates his cells. Koro-sensei then continues his lecture, but suddenly the students ask him why they need to study if they can get 10 billion yen by killing him. Koro-sensei gathers all his students, including Irina and Karasuma, on the field to motivate them. He explains that a good assassin will always have a backup plan he can rely on. The lessons he gives will give them a future, if they are not the ones to kill him. Koro-sensei also demonstrates his ability to steal military equipment, telling the students that they must excel in everything to be magnificent assassins and kill him. The final exam is coming up, and to motivate his students to get excellent grades, Koro-sensei promises that the best students in 5 academic subjects will receive a chance to cut off his tentacles, which will slow him down considerably, which means the chance to assassinate him increases. Since then, with his speed, Koro-sensei offers his students a learning experience by taking them to places where he can learn certain subjects directly. The result of the final exam is announced. Nakamura, Okuda, and Kuruma manage to get the highest grades for English, science, and math. In addition, there are 3 other students who manage to excel in home economics. Thus the 6 students will have the opportunity to destroy Koro-sensei's tentacles. One of the students suggests planning the assassination during summer vacation, and the class agrees. The students are preparing the right strategy. The day of execution has arrived. Eventually, they manage to tie up Koro-sensei and attack him. Thanks to Nagisa's observation, the class manages to discover one of his weaknesses, which is water, so they turn the arena into a water park. 2 students launch their final shots, resulting in Koro-sensei suddenly exploding. However, he transforms into a ball, which is his original form, to avoid being killed. Suddenly, Takaoka and his comrades confront Class 3E, claiming that they have poisoned several students. Takaoka offers to exchange the antidotes for Koro-sensei. Nagisa and Kuruma join forces to protect Koro-sensei from Itona, who now works for Takaoka, while the others try to find the cure for the poisoned students. Nagisa and Kuruma are no match for Itona's power as they struggle to beat him, but suddenly there is a heavy rain that weakens Itona's sprawling power. At the end of the battle, Nagisa manages to cut off Itona's tentacles. Unfortunately, they are informed by Ritsu that Takaoka has kidnapped one of the schoolgirls and threatens to kill her. Thanks to Nagisa's intelligence, they manage to trick Takaoka with a ball, and the students manage to beat Takaoka and his companions. Koro-sensei is taken to the military facility. Since Koro-sensei is vulnerable at this time, the government proceeds to carry out a public execution in front of his greeting students. Koro-sensei speaks his last words, saying that his students have shown excellent progress during the semester and he thanks them. However, it is not so easy to kill Koro-sensei. He manages to survive the execution and is allowed to continue teaching Class 3E for the 2nd term, making Class 3E the site of the assassination again. Koro-sensei is questioning his students about what they want to do after graduation. But as usual, his students are still looking for an opportunity to assassinate their teacher. Nagisa still does not know what he wants to do after graduating. Karasuma tells the class that there will be a school festival next week attended by students from other schools and people from the city. He also adds that this will be the perfect opportunity for Class 3E students to plan the assassination. Koro-sensei will surely be distracted, making him an easy target. Given the opportunity, Karasuma says that the Ministry of Defense will send a sniper named Red Eye, so students should assassinate Koro-sensei before the sniper does. But even though Koro-sensei is in an open space, the sniper still struggles to aim his target at the strange creature. Surprisingly, the teacher also manages to spot the sniper and he humiliates him as he brings the sniper down to participate in the play. At the end of the school festival, a Class 3E student, Kid Kayano, she catches Koro-sensei off guard and manages to surround him using anti-teacher fibers to restrict his movement. She then begins her assault by revealing her tentacles and she starts attacking the yellow creature. She reveals that she is actually the younger sister of Aguri Yukimura, who was the former teacher of the class, and accuses Koro-sensei of a murderer. This event leaves all the students of Class 3E confused, urging the teacher to tell the truth, but Koro-sensei refuses to answer and tells them that she will talk about her past after Kayano returns, since she is still part of Class 3E. Kayano reflects on the past year when she went to Aguri's workplace to deliver a package. Suddenly there was a large explosion. Kayano made his way through the rubble to find a tentacled creature standing next to his sister before escaping. Kayano finds her dead and a note saying that the author will teach at Kunugigaoka School. In preparation for her revenge, she took vials and injected them into herself, making her a tentacled creature. Returning to the present, Kayano confronts Koro-sensei as he is acting like a dog and she challenges Koro-sensei to a duel. She manages to corner Koro-sensei with her fire tentacles, but drains his energy very quickly. Nagisa manages to distract her with a kiss, and Koro-sensei manages to cut the tentacles from Kayano. Koro-sensei realizes that a man dressed in white has been observing the battle, who had previously been seen as Itona's guardian. Koro-sensei confronts him and is able to see his true identity, which turns out to be Yanagisawa. After the battle, Koro-sensei decides to tell the class about his past. He reveals that he was actually a human being working as an assassin called Shinigami, or God of Death. 2 years ago, due to his strength and intelligence, an unofficial research organization led by Yanagisawa captured him, making him a subject for antimatter experiments. The killer was monitored by Aguri, who turns out to be Yanagisawa's girlfriend. They both managed to develop a relationship, especially after he revealed that he was a teacher during the day. Aguri revealed that she loved her job as a teacher, and she was very motivated to help the students in Class 3E become better people. One day, exactly 1 year after the assassin and Aguri had first met, Yanagisawa discovered that the mouse sent to the moon, he had destroyed 70% of the moon, realizing that the same thing would happen to the assassin's body and could destroy the Earth. Thus, he ordered the disposal of the assassin before it was too late. Yanagisawa threw a weapon to kill him, but the assassin was protected by Aguri, causing her to be stabbed by the weapon and die. This event changed the assassin's mind, leading him to vow with Aguri to teach Class 3E. Returning to the present, Koro-sensei states that he will die in March next year. Therefore, he wants to be killed by his own students because of the bond they have developed over the past 6 months. During winter break, no student plans a murder. Nagisa decides to find a way to save Koro-sensei instead of killing him, but several students including Kuruma disagree, causing the class to split into 2 large groups. Koro-sensei suddenly arrives and suggests Nagisa and Kuruma have a battle to decide which side will win. The fight is heated and is observed by the other students. Eventually, after a long fight, Kuruma manages to beat Nagisa and stabs him with a knife. But Kuruma suddenly gives up, realizing that Nagisa really wants to help the teacher and Kuruma is ready to help him. Ritsu manages to gather all the information related to Koro-sensei, discovering that it is possible to produce a drug to save their teacher. To gather more information, the students sneak into Yanagisawa's lab and steal a file from there. Moments later, the class manages to complete the antidote and it is ready to be administered to Koro-sensei. On the other hand, the government decides to use a laser beam ignited by a satellite as a last resort to kill Koro-sensei. While Koro-sensei is alone, Karasuma orders a barrier to be launched that isolates the yellow creature in the classroom. Government agents also kidnap students from Class 3E and lock them in a tunnel. Karasuma explains that the kidnapping must be done so that they will not try to do foolish and dangerous things to help Koro-sensei. However, the students manage to find a way and escape. Instead of taking them back to prison, he encourages the students to help Koro-sensei. The students are helped by Irina. She manages to distract the military by randomly firing her grenade launcher. After an epic battle with the military officers, the students of Class 3E reach the classroom and meet Koro-sensei, but suddenly Yanagisawa confronts them. He explains that they were tricked because the file that had previously been stolen from his lab was fake. Yanagisawa says he wants revenge for what Koro-sensei had done earlier and begins injecting several artificial liquids into the tentacles, transforming himself into a hideous monstrous being. He is much stronger than Koro-sensei and manages to tear Koro-sensei apart. Kayano tries to protect him by having her stabbed in the process. Filled with anger seeing that the tragedy of 2 years ago was repeated, Koro-sensei fires a strong laser beam that instantly eliminates Yanagisawa. Koro-sensei learns how to perform surgery and manages to save Kayano's life with his skill. After the fight, Koro-sensei becomes very weak and he tells the students that this is the time to kill him. Nagisa offers to perform the assassination while the other students hold Koro-sensei's tentacles. After a very dramatic moment in which Koro-sensei says his last words, Nagisa finally stabs the knife into Koro-sensei's heart, causing him to disappear and the body to dissipate into many particles of yellowish light. In the end, the man who apparently was the villain of the story was actually the hero. Several years later, Nagisa has finally found his goal and he decides to become a teacher for the delinquents.